reason why they call TV, obviously, programming is because when you turn the TV on, it really programs you. When you turn the radio on, it programs you. I mean, it's all programming. So what we have to do as a people on this planet is we have to literally take the system that the elites put over us to control us and keep us dumbed down and stupid and low vibrational, take that same exact system and flip it. Use the same methods, but for positive, for high frequency information. This is what we have to do to reprogram ourselves. And what are some of the ways to do that? Music is universal. The music is encoded at 432 hertz and 528 hertz. Because the music on your radio is encoded at what? 440 hertz. Very scientifically proven, extremely detrimental to DNA. Again, we go back to the DNA. Why do they do 440 hertz knowing that it's going to be detrimental to your DNA? Because they want to keep you in a weakened state. It's been scientifically proven by saying positive affirmations will literally reprogram your DNA. And guess what happens when you begin to do that? When you begin to think positively, when you begin to act positively, and then now you're reprogramming yourself, and now you have offspring. Guess what happens to them? They come out slightly reprogrammed. And you keep it going down the line. You keep teaching them the right way, and then when they have offspring, they become reprogrammed. So this is the method that's going to be needed to reprogram. It's going to be easy. If you're driving down the highway and somebody cuts you off in traffic, don't flip them the finger and curse them out and say this and that and all this other kind of stuff. What you should do is you should bless that person. Bless their path. Bless the destination they're trying to get to. And thank the universe that you didn't crash or have a car accident. And just keep on moving in a positive mindset. But when you broadcast that type of love frequency, now you're reprogramming your DNA. Now the people who are around you who have witnessed you do that, they're being reprogrammed because they're going, oh, this is the way that I should be. And now they're going to reprogram. It becomes very contagious. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. And the only reason why we're in the state we are now as a civilization on the planet is because we're not utilizing enough unconditional love. And that's one of the, and we're all guilty, including myself. I'm even guilty of it. You know, I try to get myself into a state of 0 point where nothing truly affects my physiology. The only feelings I like to feel are happiness and love. Anything that blindsides me, I try not to let it get me into a state of frenzy or a state of distress. I try to control my physiology and maintain the neutral point, because in the 0 point field is where you can actually focus on the problem. Because once you become completely distressed, worked up, angry, and frustrated, now your mind is putting more energy into that and not into focusing on the situation or the problem that you need to have to fix and solve the situation, which most likely means you probably need to be more understanding, be more patient, and learn a lesson from whatever happened. So we have to begin to take these. Now, this is not easy to do, trust me. It's a struggle on a daily basis. This is what's really truly called in the ancient texts, being born again. Being born again doesn't mean that you believing in a specific deity and that he's going to come and save you. Being born again means it's an elevation of consciousness. You've gone from the primordial level of consciousness, the physical meat mode level, to a 5D ascension level of consciousness. Your body is still in the third dimension, but you're thinking from a much higher dimension, a much higher level. So things that would send another person on a wild goose chase, they don't send you on wild goose chases anymore, because you're reprogramming yourself a little bit every single day. And this is the process that we've got to go through. The law of attraction is actually initiated through the DNA. Scientists have also found out now that DNA sends and receives wireless signals, wireless information. We have a built-in Wi-Fi system in our bodies already. So, and it's just broadcasted between 8 to 10 feet away from the human body. So all times of day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we're all downloading information directly from the ether of space-time itself. And what's in the ether of space-time? Remember, a human being can only see on a very small spectrum of light. So what we're seeing right now is literally just part of the hologram. Just part of the hologram. Everything else, there's trillions and trillions of electromagnetic waves passing in you, through you, and out of you at this existing very moment, right now as I'm speaking. That's all everything is electromagnetic waves. That's all that really exists. Besides that, in consciousness, those two things collapse together and create what we call matter. So right now, we can't see these other waves of light, but they're there. But what's happening is if the DNA in your body is oscillating at a specific frequency that matches the frequency of an electromagnetic wave that's already out there, you can download information from that wave. What do waves carry? They carry information. All the information contained in the entire universe is passing in us all around us at all times. There is no original idea. If you're just sitting around going, man, I have a great idea, I'm gonna invent so-and-so. Not really. What happened was you got on the right frequency and you downloaded the information directly from the universe. If you really, truly understand the law of attraction, you're gonna make your life so much easier. It goes along, though, with the reprogramming process. You have to begin to start the reprogram. If you want it to work consistently, you can make it work by accident here or there, spotted. But if you want it to work consistently, you got to continue to reprogram your DNA, and then you have to understand one other thing, quantum entanglement. But in quantum entanglement, which is something in real physics, it's where you use something called parabolic down conversion to get two photons or two particles on the same frequency. So once you get two particles on the same frequency, you can take one particle to the other end of the universe if you had the capability of getting it there. And the particle that's local to you, you can change the information in it, put data on it, and the other particle will change instantaneously, bypassing the speed of light. What does this prove? The thing that I said in the beginning. Distance is an illusion. There is no distance. Separation is an illusion. Matter of fact, there's 7.5 billion people on this planet. If I were to take all of the empty space out of your atoms, I can fit all 7.5 billion people into a sugar cube. It's just an illusion, guys. It's a hologram. It's all consciousness and waves out there. It's really all that exists. But back to the law of attraction. So what happens in the law of attraction is, once you understand how quantum entanglement works, and scientists now have discovered that the brain, the neurons in the brain, phase in and out of the third dimensional reality. So your neurons, between your synapses, are actually phasing in and out of the third dimension. Where are they going? They're communicating with other realms and other dimensions, syncing and quantum entangling with particles and thoughts in other places. So when you understand this, now you go, oh wow. When you look into the ancient tablets, especially in the Emerald Tablets, which is why I wrote my book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, the biggest part of my book is where Thoth is talking about the power of manifestation through meditation and thought. And he's literally talking about how to sync with the universal consciousness through something else, which I've labeled the Christ consciousness. So the Christ consciousness doesn't mean you're syncing up with Jesus Christ. What it means is you're syncing up with the idea, the concept of this higher level of consciousness that exists out there in space-time. So when you yourself are aligning yourself properly with the universe, vibrating on a high frequency, what does that mean, vibrating on a high frequency? That means you're thinking with love, not thinking with hate. You're thinking with power and love, not fear and weakness. And when you do that, that puts your DNA scientifically at a high frequency. This has been done in laboratories. They've taken DNA, they've analyzed a person's thought patterns through caps that they put on with electrodes, and they've got them looking at photos that show people getting murdered, then a photo of a field of flowers, then a photo of somebody hugging a child, and then a photo of somebody getting beat up. And they analyze those thought patterns in a laboratory, and this is how they learn this. So at specific times when you're feeling the mode of fear, the DNA, there's a frequency that oscillates over your DNA. It covers a very wide band, and it covers less of your DNA. In a high frequency love mode, the frequency oscillates much faster, and they're hence much closer together, and more of the frequency is touching your DNA strand, which means you're operating at a high frequency. So now, okay, you're saying, I want to manifest this I want to manifest a spouse into my life, for example. Let's just go with that. I'm using my own personal example, okay? I want to manifest a spouse into my life that's operating in the same frequency that I'm operating, that's moving in the same way that I'm moving, because I tried it before where one person's going this way and another person's going that way. It didn't work out. And I want somebody that's going to be able to not be perfect, because that's highly impossible, but somebody that at least just has understanding for the work that I do and the time that I put out and the people I have to meet and so forth and so on. So I start focusing on this in meditations. I start focusing on envisioning not a face, not a body, just a spirit light being that is in full agreement and movement in what I'm looking to do and accomplish on this planet. Okay? So now because I'm doing that and I'm feeling this love frequency, this vibration and happiness in the meditation, I'm now operating at a higher level. Now I'm syncing up with the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is going to carry that photonic or that particle energy to sync up with the universal consciousness on a quantum entanglement. And now I'm quantum entangled directly with the flower of life, which is the face of God. And now what happens is, just like in standard physics, when you have a globe in space, and you see space warps around the globe because of the theory of relativity, Einstein's theory of relativity. Normally I would show you on the stage. Now replace the globe, Earth, with your consciousness, with your mind. Your mind is literally, now that it's quantum entangled, it's warping space-time. It's warping the ether of space itself. And now things that you're looking for are falling. Because what happens to a body in space that warps space? Things fall toward it. Now the things that you want in life are starting to fall towards you. You're creating your own quantum entanglement. You're creating a law of attraction. Now you have things falling directly towards you. And this is how the law of attraction works. You literally create a gravity well, so to speak, that things happen to fall towards you. And as you begin to operate in this mode, it then begins to happen subconsciously, where you're not even having to directly focus. As the universe knows what you need, if you're operating in the right frequency, those things will just occur in your life and pop up for you. Well, you see, the universe operates on a very high frequency. It doesn't operate on low frequency. So if you're standing up in a position of power and you're commanding things into existence, you're at a high frequency, because the universe only will sync with you on high frequency knowledge and consciousness. If you're down and begging, oh please, I don't know why this is happening, oh help me, I can't get out of this situation, oh I can't pay this, I can't pay that, this one's sick, that one's sick, help, 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 help. Well, if I collect electrodes to your brain, according to the science that I told you about before, you're at a low frequency. Guess what? You're not going to quantum entangle. You're not going to sync with the universal consciousness in a low frequency mindset. That's begging a sky wizard to come and rescue you, not realizing that the divine energy that created this entire universe is flowing in you, through you, and out of you at all times, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The power of creation, thank you, is inside of you. The power of healing is inside of you. The power of the power for you to have the ability to see through a situation and correct it or find a way to fix it or deal with it in the right manner is already inside of you. The power of manifestation is already inside of you. So what are we doing with all this begging and low frequency vibration activity? It's not getting us anywhere. It's not doing anything for anybody.